Hello everyone, this is PHTV Channel 4 in Palos Heights, and I'm Sue Jankowski. Welcome to Around Palos. Today we're going to talk about two interviewees, and they are Elaine Grande. Am I saying that right, Elaine?
Yes, that's it.
Thank you. Excuse me. Elaine Grande, Director of Program Development at Pathlights, and Alison Parker, who's the Resource Development Manager at Pathlights. Now, for people who don't know about Pathlights, I think you're going to be familiar with it because it really was formerly known as PLOWS. And that is an organization that's been here for a long, long time. And it's a wonderful group of people who provide a lot of services that I think you'll be interested in finding out about if you haven't already become familiar with it. So welcome today, Elaine and Alison. Thanks for being here with us. And I mentioned that Pathlights PLOWS because I know there's been a transition, and it actually wasn't that long ago. I think you mentioned February, last February, so not even quite a year where that transition of a name has come up, and that's a great name, Pathlights, and I think it's just getting people familiar with it. But I think so viewers who don't know about Pathlights PLOWS have some information about what do you do. Would one of you kind of give us like a little bit of overview, or both of you, about what it is?
Sure. So Pathlights has been serving the communities, 20 communities in the suburbs, southwest suburbs here for 46 years. So we've been around for a long time. Our primary focus is to provide services to those that are over 60. So they can remain in their homes and live as independent as possible for as long as possible. Over the years, we have expanded, and now we also serve people that are over 18 and are disabled. We serve those in our adult protective services area. That's when there's any report of abuse. So we are the elder abuse agency for the state designated in this area, and we investigate any reports of abuse for people that are over 60 or over 18 and disabled.
Okay, well, I didn't know that other part of it. That's really good to know. So just for an example, if you were noticing that whoever, a family member, a neighbor, or whoever who isn't 16 over but was disabled 18 and over,
correct,
they would call you to report that, and then you would take it from there.
And the reports are anonymous. So, and even if it's just suspected, it doesn't have to be, confirmed. If it's suspected abuse, if someone is observing something and they feel that there is some mistreatment going on, just call us. Or there is a 1-800 number also to call at the state level, or you can call us directly, and we'll go out and investigate. And it's all done by our trained professionals. So we're happy to do that.
That is really great. Now, if they don't know the number or don't have it handy, they can just, look on the internet, and they'll find your number.
Absolutely,
okay.
yes.
All right.
www.pathlights.org.
Yeah, good.
So, yes.
That's a great thing. Okay, so now how would people know about the services for 60 and up? Is that something they would call you about?
They can call, they can go online, they can, it's best to call us these days. You know, whereas we're fully functional and open, we are still limited we're appointment only at the office, just because we're very protective of our seniors during COVID.
Yes.
So it would be best to call. As I had mentioned a little earlier, we've expanded. We also service people that are caregivers. So of course they may not be over 60. So if you're caring for someone that's over 60, or indeed if you're a grandparent and you're raising your grandchildren, we also have services that can assist and support you in that process.
Wow, okay, you really have a huge umbrella of helping people. Yeah. I mean, because all of those groups do need help. Grandparents who are raising grandchildren, I mean, that's got to be, very difficult. And caregivers, whether they're family members or... So if a caregiver said, I just can't do this all alone all the time, What would be the steps to rectifying that for them?
Okay, so they can call us, and we would put them in contact with one of our caregiver specialists. They have tremendous supports available for caregivers because self-care is critical while you're providing care. You know, you don't want to burn out, you don't want to cause yourself any distress, so we are here to support the caregivers. There is a variety of supports available. We can provide in-home respite if a family member needs to attend an event or go out of town. There's institutional respite we can do for a period of time. There's also support groups available. There are a series of educational sessions available for caregivers so that they learn how to manage their caregiving duties.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, because you're kind of just thrown into it. All of a sudden, this is what you're doing, you know, and you're like, I wasn't planning on this.
Yeah.
So to get that kind of support, just direction even, is really wonderful.
So there's definitely, you know, a phone call to us, and we'll connect you with the right people and meet you where you are and help you as you know, go through this
time
journey, right?
Okay. So it's just really getting connected to you. And so if somebody said, well, I do want to be connected, but I don't want like an alarm to go up. I'm doing okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think people are sometimes worried about, you know, getting over connected with something. You know, you can handle it yourself, but you just need that little bit of support.
So when someone calls, you get through to our intake specialist. We are nationally recognized as a resource center for anyone over 60 or disabled. So we will sometimes just provide you with whatever information you want. You ask, you know, let us know what your needs are. Let us talk to you about what's available. Some people need to think about it. Some people aren't ready. Some people need to talk to other family members. Some people are ready to say, yes, sign me up. I'm interested in home delivered meals. I'm interested in some in-home services. I'm interested in applying for benefits. Others need to think about it. So we will go at the pace you want us to go at. We are not, it's your decision, or it's the family's decision if they want to proceed to the next steps. So we are there to give you all the options that are available at that initial phone call.
So giving you support and help, what would that look like? Like, what kinds of things are available? Like, do you just, besides someone coming in and so you can leave for the weekend, or you know, you have a concert to go to or whatever. Yeah. Is there any other, like, can they take your person to the doctor, or you know, like, get people transported, physical therapy or whatever they may need? Yeah.
So there are a variety of programs available, state and federal, that someone may be interested in using. Home delivered meals is one. It could be just that you want your hot meal delivered daily. It could be that you want some assistance with applying for benefits, Medicare, just advice, help with your gas and electric, help with understanding your health insurance, a variety of applications, food stamps, your license plate discount, which is a big one, your property tax forms, so there's a lot there. And then there's in-home services, which you have to qualify for, depending on your eligibility. There has to be a need. And then if you agree and want to proceed with one of our care coordinators would go out to your home and do a comprehensive assessment, determine what your needs are, and then hopefully this program would be able to supplement some of the care that you receive. Mm-hmm. They can do light housekeeping, personal care, errands. They can bring you out to the doctor or the grocery store, usually once a week. So there's definitely some supports there for people that may not have other people that can help them with that in their lives.
Right, your family members may live across the country, you know,
Right.
and they just can't
Right.
be there to
Yeah.
do those things for you, or just
Yeah.
aren't able to. Okay, so you know, some of these things like understanding your insurance, I mean, that's so complicated, or property tax, or, you know, just these forms you have to fill out. I think that, you know, because they change, like maybe you could have done them 10 years ago,
Right.
but now with all the changes that take place and so much being done like online,
Yep.
I think it's very complicated
Very
as you go on
complicated.
in life for a lot of people.
It can be very complicated and very challenging, and we're there to help you through that. And everyone's need is different, you know, so we will, you know, treat you and work with you and your need. So we have a team of advocates that are able to assist with all those forms. So it's really very helpful.
It really, really would be. I can see where they would be
Yeah.
very
And
anxious
everyone's
about
situation is different, you know, and every application is different. Some applications you just need your income, other applications you need to know a lot more. You know, the property tax, you just need your tax bill and your ID. So it's hard to keep it all straight. So we're there to assist with all those.
That's really great. Now, when I'm looking at Alison, resource development, so you're reaching out to the community. So, like, are there community members that are volunteering to help people in that way? Like, maybe I was an accountant and I could help someone with that kind of thing. Is that what is happening?
Most definitely. We rely a lot on community support to keep our programs functioning. So exactly what you talked about really is one of the areas where we have a lot of volunteers helping. They help determine you know, what you might be qualified for, what in terms of services, and then helping you fill out applications, processing those applications. So a lot of that work is done by volunteers. Our meal delivery, that's all volunteers who do all those deliveries. So for us, it's really critical that we have volunteers and community support. There's a plethora of other types of jobs. It might be small office administrative, different things that we could maybe find a fit for you if someone wanted to volunteer with us.
Right, you might not have that particular skill. I mentioned accounting, you know, but that might not be your area of expertise. But you may need someone to answer a phone or
Yep.
connect someone to someone else. I mean, chores that you can learn if you volunteer and go in.
Definitely, and we have an application on our website, so if people are interested, they can learn a little bit about some of the types of volunteer roles that we do have on our website and apply that way, and then we'd reach back out to them and talk about what they're really looking to do.
I would think one of the really important ones would be delivering meals. I mean, not only do people need the nutrition, but that contact with another person, I think it would be so important.
It definitely is, and you know, during COVID, we've had to limit the number of meals that we deliver now, but those check-ins are extremely important to us and are an important way that we can make sure that our clients are remaining safe in their home, and that there's not more supports or help that they might need. So those meal deliveries are extremely important.
Let's talk about safety for a minute. So here, somebody volunteers, they're going to go into someone's home. So I would think, you know, as you get, anybody of any age, but particularly as you get a little bit older, you're a little wary, or you should be, of who's coming into your house. What is the vetting process for like volunteers?
So especially if you're going to be doing any sort of client interaction, we definitely do a background check on those individuals. We have an interview process. As I mentioned, they fill out a formal application. So we're not just letting anyone off the street come say, I want to volunteer, and now you get the name and an address and get to go deliver meals. We would never do that. Definitely vet all of our volunteers. Now, if you wanted to do just like an administrative role that you can maybe do remotely, you might not need a background check for that. But if you're doing any sort of contact with a client, we have a full vetting process on that.
Okay, I think people would feel good, you know, want that to happen. So that's a really good thing. Okay, so just back to the community involvement for a minute. I'm sure it was really hard during COVID to get I mean, because everything kind of came to a halting stop, and even meals, I think you mentioned that became more limited. So now that we're kind of out of it, what has that changed for your volunteer group?
Well, we definitely have less volunteers still working at this point, but we've really picked it up a lot in the last few months. I would say over the summer, our advocacy group really brought on, I think about 15 new volunteers we brought on.
Great.
Because we just have so many people to serve right now. We had to bring more people back in to help. So we are still limited. You do have to be vaccinated to volunteer with us. So we're trying to be very conscious of safety. And as Elaine mentioned, not just anyone can kind of walk in and ask about services right now. You do have to have an appointment. So we're still practicing social distancing and masking and all of those things. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's still there. I mean, we feel safer because we're vaccinated, but, there's still a lot of problems out there. If you look at numbers, they're still not perfect. So that is something to consider. So now, Elaine, with COVID, have you added other services? Like, do you get people to a vaccination center? What do you do with that?
So COVID was a huge learning experience for us, and we have learned so much, and it was actually eye-opening and very rewarding because we reacted so quickly and adapted so well, and there was no interruption in services. We were really all hands on deck to make sure that we continued serving because people were depending on us for the nutrition, for their in-home care, and for a variety of things.
Right.
So we worked very hard, and we flipped the switch, and it was great. A lot of our staff, we switched to the remote working right away. As Alison had mentioned, we wanted to make sure that meals were delivered, but some of our area was switched to a one-day delivery. So they got 5 frozen meals delivered once a week because we thought that was a safer option than someone going every day, both for the client and for the volunteer drivers.
Exactly.
And then what we did, because we didn't have that daily contact with them, is we had a group of staff and volunteers call our meal clients a couple of times a week to check in. Are you okay? Because we weren't now knocking on their door every day. We wanted to have that contact. Do you have any needs that were identified? Is everything going okay? A lot of people were isolated during COVID, and it was a major concern for us because it can affect your mental health so much if you are isolated. So that was one of our primary focuses, to meet their needs, because COVID had an impact on everyone. Maybe their adult children were helping them with expenses, and now the adult child isn't working or bringing in an income, or their family has other needs, and they weren't able to help their aging parent. So thankfully, we've helped people pay rent, mortgage, utilities, buy prescriptions, nutrition. We've had grocery deliveries, especially at the beginning when people were afraid to go to the grocery store. We had groceries delivered. Another area that has really surfaced during COVID is the amount of people that are struggling to remain financially stable. So we were very thankful that through a variety of federal, state, and local grants that we were able to support these people.
Would you say like that financial stability is one of your greatest issues for older adults?
Yes, it can be. I mean, because expenses are high, particularly your housing, it's your major expense. And unfortunately, people are trying to decide, do I pay my rent? Do I pay my property taxes? Do I buy my prescriptions? Do I get my roof repaired? Do I get a new, washer that's broken down? So when someone reaches out to us, we want to do a holistic assessment and be able to give them everything that they're eligible for or indeed may need if we can at all.
Wow, those are all terrible dilemmas. I mean, these are things that you were able to do and take care of as a younger person.
Well, they're basic needs.
Yeah.
They're not luxuries. They are basic needs, and we want to make sure. So we were very, very fortunate that we were able to reach out. Another thing that we did, and again, it brings us back to the isolation.
Well, Elaine, we were talking about isolation and like some remedies to that you were fortunately able to get a hold of.
Right.
What were some of those things?
Okay, so isolation was a major concern for us, especially at the beginning of the pandemic. People were cut off significantly from their daily contacts, from their family, couldn't visit. So there is a device that we discovered called Uniper, and it connects you directly through your television and your telephone. It connects so you can actually see the person you're speaking with through the TV.
Can they see you?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's back and forth.
It's
Okay.
it's an add-on to your TV.
Okay.
And it was wonderful for people that weren't able to reach their loved ones, that maybe lived far away. So it really was something that was able to keep people connected, and rather than just speaking to someone, they could see, yes, I can see my loved one. They're doing okay.
That is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, we referred about 80 people for it. It's something that we can still do if people are interested. And it also offers other benefits, such as you can join a chat or a yoga group or a museum tour or an exercise class or an arts class. There's a variety of other programming on there that is available that you would sign up for.
And that was so important, to do those other things, keep moving, keep mentally stimulated with things, and so that worked out really well. So let's just go back to vaccines for a minute, because not everybody could get out for the vaccines. What kind of connection were you able to make for those people?
Okay. So when the vaccine became available, as you know, as everyone can remember, it was almost impossible to get an appointment, and everyone was scrambling, trying to get appointments. The mass vaccination sites might have been difficult for people to navigate. They were large, they were very busy. So thankfully we, in March and April of 2021, we were able to schedule 500 appointments at a vaccination clinic that we organized, and we vaccinated over 500 people, and they were the most vulnerable. They were those that couldn't navigate the online scheduling, or transportation was an issue. We had a number of people that were 100 years old. Wow. So we were very, very happy that we were able to bring that to the most vulnerable, and we're hoping to do a booster clinic sometime in December before the holidays, really, before people maybe reconvene and get together with family. So that's the plan. We are able to make a homebound appointment for people if they're unable to get to a vaccination site. Just call our phone number and we can schedule a homebound vaccination for you. Okay. And as well as your COVID vaccination, they can do the flu shot too. So
oh, good. Yeah.
A little bonus there.
That's an issue too that might be more prevalent this year. Last year it seemed because we were all hiding. We didn't have that, but this year it could be more of an issue. Isn't it amazing? Like you talked about like the beginning of COVID and how you all just came together. So many groups of people did that, and I think it's just so much credit to our will to do our job and do good for people that you could find a way to just keep on going no matter what. I mean, it took tons of work, tons of effort. You guys probably all worked long hours, but that was your huge responsibility that you really took seriously, and how are we going to do it? I mean, congratulations for that.
And we can't do this alone. It is a community effort for sure. At the beginning of the pandemic, our elder abuse reports had decreased. We were very concerned because we knew that people were still
together, and
people were probably still victims.
Yeah.
So we really depended on our first responders and things like that to identify the need for the reports to keep coming in. So we constantly work with our first responders, our libraries, our banks, our local villages and cities.
So there's a big connection there with the public sector of things, police departments and so forth. Yeah,
definitely, it is a community effort for everyone to keep our community strong.
That's great. Alison, I want to talk a little bit about the community support you were talking about and how that's super important. And I guess to just encourage people that there is an outlet for their want. I mean, so many people want to do good. How do they do good with you?
Well, I mentioned before volunteering, we're always looking for volunteers. We're also looking for other types of civic groups and organizations. Say you're a part of the Rotary Club or something like that. We can come to your meeting and educate you about services because there really is something to be said about the word of mouth and spreading the word. We have an ambassador group at Pathlights now. That's something we started at the beginning of this year for folks who are really committed to the mission and willing to help spread the word and build partnerships. And they might, know a lot of people in the community. So if you're someone like that and you want to be an ambassador for us, we have opportunities there. We're looking for businesses, who might want to be a sponsor, or we can come educate their staff. Elaine mentioned like banks, for example. We can come in and help those bank tellers learn how to identify forms of financial exploitation. And so then they're right there on the front lines and can kind of make a call to us when they do see something going wrong. So there's a lot of different ways where we could partner with businesses or organizations, but really, the goal is to spread the word about the services we do provide and make sure that all these folks that we know are out there are able to get those services and find out about them. So to me, that's the main goal is awareness out here in the Palos area, is building that awareness.
Yeah, and I agree. And going to these groups of people, because it's kind of like then that spreads to the next level. Those people talk to people who become aware that there is an outlet for getting services. I think so often people's hands are like, I don't know what to do. I mean, I've been in that situation where you're like, well, I just don't know what to do. I don't know who to call. My hands are kind of tied, and you really don't have to feel that way. There is a group, who can connect you to something that really can help you and your family and your neighbor or whoever. So volunteering is one thing, businesses being supportive and so forth, but also financially, I'm guessing you might accept financial donations too.
Of course, we would love donations. We are really trying to, because of COVID, I think we've really identified how much more of a need there is out there in the community. And so in order for us to really be able to fully service all of those individuals, we do need more money. Yeah. Right now we rely a lot on government funding, whether that be through federal or state funds. And we really want to do more. We want to help more. We want to address isolation. We want to address mental health. We want to do all of these things even more than what we're doing. And so, that financial support, whether it's a $2 donation or a $2,000 donation, we are definitely looking for more support from the community financially as well.
Well, there's something coming up that people can really do something good for.
There is, yes. So Giving Tuesday, not sure if people have heard of it before, but it is a global movement. It's a global initiative to create awareness to give back to your community. So Tuesday, November 30th. It's the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. That's called Giving Tuesday. And we're doing a fundraising campaign, Giving Tuesday. Now, we actually have been awarded a great matching grant from an organization called RRF, Foundation for Aging, and they are doing a $5,000 match. So if you donate between the match period actually starts before Giving Tuesday. So if you donate between November 22nd and December 3rd, your donation will have double the impact. And
great.
so, yeah, so we would love it if folks could try to remember to donate during that time frame, and especially on Giving Tuesday. We've got a goal through the end of the year to raise $25,000.
Oh, that would be great.
And so, we're really pushing for Giving Tuesday and obviously our match. But even after the match is over on December 4th, we're still going to go through the end of the year, and hopefully we raise more than 25,000 and we get to 50, or who knows.
Now, how would they go about getting you that donation?
Probably the simplest way is if you're online. You can go to our website, pathlights.org/donate. Will take you directly to the donation form, or there's a donation button when you go to our homepage. You can also write a check and mail in a check if you'd like. If people want to donate, this is a good one for end of year. If you have a retirement account where you have to make your required minimum distribution, we also look to accept those distributions, and if you work with your financial person, you can make those distributions tax-free, essentially. So it's kind of a nice thing to remember at the end of the year if you are in that position where you don't really want to take that money per se, but you could donate it and then get the tax deferrals there that way. So there's many ways. I mean, you can leave money in your will, things like that. If you wanted to leave us any sort of bequest or something like that, I would say give us a call. We'd talk individually with that person, and you probably need to talk to your financial planner as well.
Okay. And I think it's important for our viewers to know, too, that these services that you get to people, they don't pay for. Nothing is paid for by your clients. This is all free to you. So you really do need donations so that you can make this. I know there's some government grants and whatever, but there's never enough money. Knowing that you think, oh, I can't afford to call them because I don't have money, that's the problem. Well, it's not going to cost you anything. In fact, they can help you figure things out and be very supportive that way. So Giving Tuesday, but you can start donating as soon as you start hearing this program, and you can go all the way through the end of the year, and it is a good time because this is when people really do make charitable donations. It's good for taxes, and we all need that. So go ahead and do that. You will have done a really great thing for a lot of people. I mean, I was discussing the amount of people that you service, and did you mention 16,000 people? That, I mean, 16,000 people are benefits of their services. That's tremendous. That's more than the whole city of Palos Heights.
And we're excited because I have a new video that will be coming out on November 22nd to launch our Giving Tuesday match campaign. But it's going to share the story of one of our clients and their daughter, who's the caregiver, and kind of how we've helped them and how the daughter, who is the caregiver, has really benefited from some of the respite services and things we offer. So we're excited to launch that. So you can come to our website on November 22nd and see our new video, and we'll be sharing it on social media too. So.
Oh, that is wonderful. So take a check of that. And it's pathlights.org, correct? And pathlights.org/donations if you want to do that right there. I'm sure there's an easy way to figure that out. Is there anything else you want to mention to our viewers before we say goodbye? You covered so much, and I thank you for coming in, and I really know that this is a wonderful group of people, 46 years of doing good for all of these communities. And remember, it was Plows, and I think that's familiar to most people, and now it's Pathlights, which is a great name. So pathlights.org, go check it out, and these ladies will get you connected with somebody who's going to help you. Thanks for coming in today, Elaine and Alison. Appreciate all your hard work. I know it's a kind of job that you have to really be devoted, and you have to be that kind of person who is just loving and giving, and I know that everybody over there is. Thanks for watching us. This is Around Palos. We'll see you next time on Channel 4. Have a wonderful day.